Okay, great. So hi, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Good to be with you all. I'm very excited about this time that we're going to have together, and I'm sorry for the background noise. But probably, I want to say in June, I was approached by Rachel Wick, who you met in Pasadena, for those of you that were there. And she's with the Blue Shield of California Foundation, and she offered some additional resources for this work with you all, specifically around evaluating the outcomes, but also looking at what kind of data technical assistance could be offered to the sites. And so one of the programs that's inside of the Public Health Institute is Survey Research Group. And again, for those of you that were in Pasadena, you hopefully got a chance to meet Kylie. And we spent time looking at the assessments and just different information that we'd gather. And based on that, put together a package of information. And today really is about sharing with you what our thoughts are on that and the plan for this next year. There's going to be a little bit of work that we plan on starting now, but most of it will start in January because that's when the additional funding will start from Blue Shield. So I'm going to turn this over to Rebecca and Kylie to walk us through this. So thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you, Sue, for the introduction, and we're excited to be here on our first webinar with you all. So before we started kind of getting into further explanation with the project and the process, we just wanted to give everybody a little bit of the background of our group and what we do, so you have some context. Of course, we are with the Public Health Institute. The Public Health Institute is a nonprofit. We have about 600 employees and 200 programs. The Public Health Institute generates and promotes research, leadership, and partnerships to build capacity for strong public health programs, policies, systems, and practices. Our main offices are in Sacramento, Oakland, Washington, D.C., and we have offices worldwide. So the specific department that we work for is the Survey Research Group. And so our goal is to foster health, well-being, and quality of life through rigorous quantitative and qualitative research. But really what SRG specializes in is small studies that require quick turnarounds. So we work a lot with local health department, tribal health department, and state departments that need fast turnarounds on projects. And we also really focus on tailoring to specific geographic audiences or areas. We are located in California, but we have projects in other states, and again, with a couple of tribes and tribal health programs. Our research project assistants are all bilingual and bicultural, and 75% of all staff members at SRG speak a language other than English. So this is an example of a current collaboration between PHI programs. We are working with Sue Grinnell, who you all know. Our specific role is to support the evaluation efforts of the Accelerator site. So again, my name is Rebecca Garrell. I'm the program manager on this project and for SRG. I'm listed to the right here. On the left is Dr. Suzanne Ryan Ibarra. She's the principal investigator for these evaluation processes. She is out on maternity leave right now. She just welcomed the newest addition to SRG, a little baby boy. And then in the center of the screen, and also to my right on the video, is Kylie Gallington, who's our lead research associate for this project and leads several projects here at SRG, as well as the Center for Wellness and Nutrition. So today, our outline, just to keep it short and sweet, we want to go over a little bit of the background, the timeline for evaluations, and talk about our main objectives for the evaluation efforts that we're going to be doing. We will describe to you our approach, review our next steps. They will require some effort from you, and then any questions that we may have in the audience, we can answer at the end of this. So just a really small background. As Sue said, our evaluation plan status We are on limited activity through December of 2017. We're really grateful that we did get a small contract amount so that we could start work on this project, because we really want to be ready to hit the ground running once these activities start ramping up for us in January. We do not have our full funded contract in place yet, but of course we are cautiously optimistic that that will happen and we'll be able to support all the evaluation activities as needed. We are expected to have a full contract and to be able to execute all deliverables starting in January of 2018 throughout December of 2019, so a 2-year process. And at this point, I'm going to turn it over to Kylie, who's going to talk about the main objectives of this grant. And we will ask, just throughout the presentation, if you could mute your phones. We hear a little bit of background noise with some typing. I think that would help the other participants.
Great. Thank you so much, Rebecca. So as Rebecca said, we will be briefly just reviewing the main objectives for this evaluation. The goal of this webinar today is just to give you an overview of what we're going to be providing and what you can expect from our team here at Survey Research Group. So our first objective for this evaluation is to assess the effectiveness of the technical assistance that each accelerator site is receiving, and also to provide evaluation support throughout the process. So specific methods that we're primarily going to be focusing on for this objective are feedback surveys for webinars and convenings. I'm sure that all of you have received invitations to participate in surveys from Sue after attending webinars, and also after attending the in-person convening in Pasadena in October. We highly encourage you to participate in those surveys. We do rely heavily on your feedback to help us understand what's working and what improvements need to be made in the future to really tailor this process to each of the accelerator sites. So just want to put that plug out there to please participate. In addition, we will be following up with each of the accelerator sites throughout this process through interviews and possibly through surveys to really in-depth get a better understanding of what's working and what recommendations there are for improving this process with each of the accelerator sites. Our second objective is to collaborate with the CACHI accelerator sites to adapt the ACH evaluation framework based on each site's context and targeted health issues. So I'm not sure what familiarity there is among this group with the ACH evaluation framework. I'm happy to send out a copy of that, and I know that there is a copy published on the CACHI website. But the ACH evaluation framework proposes a theory of change and a theory for evaluating ACH sites. So our evaluation plan is grounded in the ACH evaluation framework, and what we will be providing specifically is a customized approach to evaluating each of the accelerator sites. So within that, we will be providing customized logic models or theories of change for each accelerator site, and we will also be helping each accelerator site to select inputs and short-term indicators that are relevant to your site's context as well as your site's design question.
And really quick, sorry to interrupt you, Kylie. We actually just got a chat from one of the participants, so I'm going to send another reminder out to folks. Please mute yourself. We can hear the keyboard typing. I know you're vigorously typing notes about this presentation, but it's a little bit distracting to some of the other participants. We just got a chat about that. So please take a second, look and mute yourself. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Rebecca. Good reminder. All right, so briefly in this next slide, I just wanted to share, this is the logic model that is proposed in the ACH evaluation framework. I'm not going to go through this in great detail, but just wanted to show it. For the purpose of this evaluation, we're going to be focusing primarily on inputs and short-term indicators.
And it's not that he identified that individual, but he went to his...
We can hear somebody chatting on the line. If you can please mute your line. Not sure who that is. Okay, it sounds like they're muted. Great. So as I was saying, we will be focusing on inputs and short-term indicators for this evaluation. But really, as you can see in this logic model that was proposed within the ACH evaluation framework, there is a theory for how ACH sites will be moving from inputs and eventually toward long-term changes such as population health. Our third objective for this evaluation proposal is to collect and analyze baseline and follow-up data for each of the accelerator sites. And specifically, key areas that we will be measuring include readiness and capacity for the 7 definitional elements, inputs and short-term indicators from the ACH evaluation framework, which we will be customizing for each accelerator site, innovation, and specifically here, we're looking at innovative practices and strategies that make each accelerator site unique and contribute toward your work. And then finally, we'll be looking at the level of collaboration and trust within each ACH accelerator site. To measure each of these areas, we will be, first off, facilitating structured group interviews with key members of the accelerator sites in both a baseline and a post-assessment. We will be following up with you shortly to schedule the baseline assessment, which we're hoping to carry out in November. In addition, we will be identifying data sources available to each accelerator site for measuring short-term indicators that are relevant. And finally, we'll be using online surveys and self-assessments.
This is Rebecca. I just want to reiterate the first bullet under 3B. We will be contacting you today, tomorrow, and on Friday to set up a structured group interview. So look out for one of our research project assistants to be reaching out to you and other members of your teams to be setting these up.
Great. And then just to give you an idea, each accelerator site can expect to receive written reports summarizing the results for your accelerator site from us. And in addition, we will be providing one-on-one technical assistance calls to review those results and discuss next steps. So our intent really is to customize this experience for each accelerator site and to make this as useful as possible. Our fourth objective is to assess sources of data that are available to each accelerator site to aid in ongoing assessment of short, intermediate, and long-term indicators. So we know that ultimately each accelerator site will be aiming to measure change in long-term indicators such as health behaviors, health outcomes, healthcare systems delivery, and healthcare costs over time. And so our intention is to work with each accelerator site to identify sources of data that are available and outline the strengths and weaknesses of each source of data. And in addition, we will be recommending methods for tracking indicators over time for each accelerator site. And then finally, our last objective for this evaluation plan is to provide technical assistance webinars related to data and analytics. And so the first of these webinars that we will be providing is actually a 3-part series entitled Introduction to Data. The first webinar will be looking at identifying short-term, intermediate, and long-term indicators for measuring outcomes. Second, we'll be looking at public use data sources to track outcomes. And then finally, we will be looking at database development to organize outcomes. And I believe that invitations for these webinars have already been sent out to each of the sites. They'll be happening each Tuesday at 2 p.m. starting January 23rd. And after these, the Introduction to Data series, our team will actually be participating in a 4th webinar, Introduction to Core Metrics, during which we will be presenting core metrics and also providing core metric data to each accelerator site.
So just to sort of summarize our approach, we are really trying to align with the CACHI Catalyst evaluation as much as possible. We feel it's going to be really interesting and meaningful to show how different levels of funding and technical assistance can help drive these efforts that the Accelerator and the Catalyst sites are driving towards. Our role is to assist you and to provide meaningful feedback and data to move your work forward. But I just want to emphasize it's very important you are an equal partner in this evaluation process. Your role is to actively participate in the evaluation, encourage others to participate, and to understand that your contributions are incredibly important. Your ability and willingness to participate in interviews, to provide us with good qualitative and quantitative data will not only help support these evaluation activities, those in turn are going to support future program planning and advocacy down the road, which, you know, the subtext of that is funding. We really want to make sure that we can advocate and make the case for increased funding and expansion down the road. You are our starting quarterback. You and the other people on this webinar are really going to be driving these evaluation processes. You will help guide and help us tailor the webinars that we provide to you in January and in February. We really want to make sure that we are capturing and giving back to you meaningful data that will help you with your program planning, advocacy, and future grant opportunities. So our next steps, as we've reiterated, is we are going to be starting with a baseline assessment, just to sort of feel the temperature of where all of the sites are. We will be scheduling structured group interviews with key members of your Accelerator site staff. They'll be approximately 1 hour. We're looking to schedule them the week of November 13th through 17th. That's the week before Thanksgiving. If you or some of your key staff and group members are not available that week, we'll find a different time to reschedule, but we will be trying to get most of them done during that week. That's all we've got. So we wanted to open this up for comments or any questions, or Sue Brunel, if you have anything to add. You know, we're researchers, we're dry, we really want to collect data and present it in a colorful way, but we just wanted to create a little bit of opportunity if you guys had any questions or wanted further information about any of the objectives that we have for the evaluation process.
Great, thanks so much. So I just want to open it up to see if there are questions from any of you, anything that's not clear, any other comments, things that you're excited about or not sure? And if you're on mute and you're talking, we can't hear you.
This is Jennifer.
Great. Hi, Jennifer.
Hi. I guess I'll just say that, you know, we're really excited to be working with you all as part of this grant, and the data sharing element is, you know, is one of the 7 definitional elements that we are really hoping to make forward progress on during our participation in this grant. And yeah, so no other particular feedback. We're excited to get started.
Great, thank you. We are very much looking forward to working with all of you as well.
Great. Yeah, don't anybody else have any other comments, questions, concerns? So excited you can't stand it.
That's the vibe I'm getting.
Yes.
All right, everybody loves a good evaluation. So these are our email addresses up on the screen. If you think of anything later, feel free to email us or give us a call. And one of our research project assistants will be in touch with all of you soon to schedule the structured group interview.
Great, thanks so much, Kylie and Rebecca. And I did record this. I know there was a couple people who something came up and they weren't able to attend and wanted to hear this, so we'll post it. And then the slides we'll post as well on the website. And in the meantime, just be waiting for that email. Thank you.
Thanks,
Great,
everybody.
thank you.
Thank you.